Roll call, please.
Kavanaugh, Corbin,
Here.
Cunningham,
Here.
Davio,
Here.
During,
Here.
Henderson,
Here.
Jones.
He's here.
He's here.
He's here.
He is here.
Kinville,
Here.
Pinard,
Here.
Rieger,
Here.
Reuter,
Here.
Roberts is absent. Schwartz,
Here.
Stepanski,
Here.
Stokes is absent. Vosberg,
Here.
Walrod,
Here.
Wicks,
Here.
Wynn,
Here.
and Jones is here. Okay. That is 1,414 votes in favor, or present, sorry.
Are there any corrections to the April 8th board meeting minutes? Motion? Greg, second. Kyle? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Carried. This is the first public comment period. Is anyone here to speak on today's agenda? Trace, do you have anybody there? No, okay. Anybody like to speak? Greg, you like to speak? I just said you'd like to speak. Okay, thanks. Moving on. Resolutions of appreciation.
First, we're going to start with Resolution 1, which is a resolution of appreciation. This is a retiree recognition for Linda Barber and her 25 years at the county. This is Pete Walrod, Chairman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Can I have a second? Rex? All in favor, say aye. Okay. Can I have Linda come up and who's here from the DA's office? Bob? Bob? And the Criminal Justice Committee, please, too.
Congratulations. Got it. Got it. Perfect.
Morning, everybody. Bill decided to defer to me because of my unique relationship with Linda Barber. 25 years she's been here. The first 7 or the first 8, she got away with murder. The next 17, I came here. And since that point, me and Linda have had a love-hate relationship in that we love to hate each other. A typical morning would start off with Linda walking in, and I'd say, great, security ain't here, look what the cat drug in. To which she'd typically respond to me, yeah, but you're what my cat spit out. Now, if you think I'm kidding, this very morning when we're walking in, she looks at me and she goes, I brought this cane to beat you with.
I like this girl. I like this girl a lot.
To which I said to her, what, your broom is still in the shop? But that's the way it's always been, you know, and I hope Ryan isn't listening. This sometimes put off our new employees until they got used to it. But I remember Ryan saying, oh, what a unique part-timer. She served at both the DA's office and the Board of Elections. Well, let me tell you the truth about that. We kept on trying to give her away, and the Board of Elections kept sending her back. So when she finally said that I'm retiring to go be with my daughter, my grandkids down in Pennsylvania, I believe Harrisburg area, my reaction was, it's a good start, but it's not far enough.
He's still looking for the island 72.
Yeah, I hear Trump's reopening Alcatraz. That'd be appropriate. So anyway, yeah, I know. That's why I'm trying to get it all out of the way now. So anyway, when I heard about this retirement, you know, I did want to speak to her. So now, if I can swear you all to a vow of secrecy, you can't tell anybody this. In reality, Linda Barber is the nicest, sweetest, most wonderful woman I have ever met. She is absolutely a part of the DA's family. She is loved by everyone. She was an integral part as our traffic clerk of traffic diversion, which has ended up netting out to the county $325,000 a year to the general fund. And I'm tempted now to go back into character and quote to you the old Dan Hicks and the Hot Licks song, Linda. How can we miss you when you won't go away? But the truth of the matter is she's going to be missed every day. If you've never had a chance to meet or know Linda Barber, you've missed out. And if there's anybody that's deserving of a huge round of applause by her DA family who love her and by all of you, it's this woman here on my left. Oh, go ahead.
It's all that look.
I wish she had one more thing to hand her so she couldn't handle that cane anymore.
Go ahead. Take that microphone.
Oh, I can
Hey,
handle it.
Well,
Yeah, I have loved my job from day one in the DA's office. That was January 3rd, 2000. And there's not a day that goes by that I'm not happy to get up and go to work. But that's the best job in the world. And the family, I love the DA family. They're all very family oriented. And if you got a problem, they're gonna help you. And I went through a lot of things. And I wish I could work from home in Pennsylvania and still keep my job, but Bill didn't make a response to that, so I assume he's not agreeing. But it has been a lot of changes and I've learned a lot. And the relationships I've been involved with has been super. I keep in touch with everybody that I possibly can. And this one here lets me know about that song almost on a day-to-day basis. Every time he runs into me. But he's a true friend. And if I could ever find another job, even in PA that was close to this, I would, because I enjoy working, so. But I want to thank you all. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm gonna carry that back for you guys.
I got it. in case I need to spin.
Wow.
Oh, that's a hard act to follow. All right, resolutions 2 through 25.
Okay. Continuing on with preferred agenda resolutions by Government Operations Committee. We have resolutions 2 through 4, which are all creating positions. Resolution 2 is one staff social worker in the mental health department. Resolution 3 is a part-time position in the Veteran Service Agency. And resolution 4 is a full-time deputy sheriff lieutenant position in the sheriff's office. This is Pete Walrod, Chairman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Can I have a second? Kyle? Discussion? Roll call, please.
Corbin,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Davio,
Yes.
During. Aye. Henderson,
Aye.
Jones. Kinville. Aye. Kennard,
Aye.
Rieger,
Aye.
Ruder,
Aye.
Roberts is absent, Schwartz,
Yes.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Stokes, absent, Vosberg,
Yes.
Walrod,
Aye.
Wicks,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
1,414 votes in favor. Okay. Preferred agenda by Finance, Ways and Means. We have Resolution 5, which is calling for a public hearing regarding increasing the tax exemption for qualified senior citizens. Resolution 6 is directing the county attorney's office to draft legislation for reauthorization of Madison County's local 1% sales and compensating use tax. There is an updated version on your desk of the resolution. There was just some language that was added. Resolutions 7 through 12 are all authorizing the modification of the 2025 adopted county budget. 7 is CAC grant. Resolution 8 is planning. Resolution 9 is road machinery. Resolution 10 is sheriff. Resolution 11, information technology. Resolution 12 is personal services. This is Melissa During, Vice Chairwoman, Finance, Ways and Means Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Davio,
Yes.
During,
Aye.
Henderson,
Aye.
Jones, Kinville,
Aye.
Pinard,
Aye.
Rieger,
Aye.
Reuter,
Aye.
Roberts absent, Schwartz,
Yes.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Stokes absent, Vosberg,
Yes.
Walrod,
Aye.
Wicks,
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes.
1,414 votes in favor.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Kavanaugh, Corbin, 1,414 votes in favor. Here we go. Thank you.
That was Lauren.
Okay, preferred agenda by Health and Human Services Committee. We have Resolution 13, appointing members to the Madison County Youth Bureau Youth Board. Resolution 14 is modifying a contract with VMC Group, Inc., doing business as VMC Consultants, Inc. for transportation services. And Resolution 15, authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with Madison Central School District for a satellite mental health clinic. This is Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Health and Human Services Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Can I have a second? Alex? Discussion? All in favor, say aye. I'm sorry, roll call.
No.
Yes. Lauren threw me off. I didn't-
Davio, During,
Aye.
Henderson,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Kinville,
Aye.
Pinard,
Aye.
Rieger,
Aye.
Reuter,
Aye.
Roberts absent, Schwartz,
Yes.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Stokes absent, Vosberg,
Yes.
Walrod,
Aye.
Wicks,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
back to the top. Kevin.
Yes. No,
Corbin,
Yes.
Cunningham,
yes.
1,414 votes in favor. Our preferred agenda by Criminal Justice Committee begins with Resolution 16, which is authorizing the chairman to modify an existing contract with the New York State Defenders Association Incorporated. And Resolutions 17 and 18 are both authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with Axon Enterprise. Resolution 17 is with the assigned counsel, and Resolution 18 is for the DA's office. This is Rex Fosberg, Chairman, Criminal Justice, Public Safety, and Emergency Communications Committee.
This may not be proper time, Mr. Chairman, but I want to recognize this young man that just graduated from law school. He's been coming to our criminal justice committee meetings, and I just want to wish him the best, Godspeed, and just a hand for the young man as we wish him the best from the county of Madison. Kyle, right? Yes. And I'll
Correct.
move these resolutions for adoption.
Okay, can I have a second, Joe?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
During,
Aye.
Henderson,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Kinville,
Aye.
Pinard,
Aye.
Rieger,
Aye.
Reuter,
Aye.
Roberts absent, Schwartz,
Yes.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Stokes absent, Vosberg,
Yes.
Walrod,
Aye.
Wicks,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Davio.
Yes.
1,414 votes in favor. Okay, preferred agenda by Highway Buildings and Grounds Committee. We have Resolution 19, rehabilitation of certain county roads and bridge replacements for 2025. Resolution 20 is designating disposal of surplus county property, personal county property. Resolutions 21 through 23 are all authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement. Resolution 21 is with Visala for remote weather station. Resolution 22 is with AbScope Environmental. Resolution 23 is with Chem Aqua. Resolutions 24 and 25 are both authorizing the chairman to award a bid and enter into an agreement. Resolution 24 is bid 2025-23 with Timberland Fence and Land Management. And Resolution 25 is bid 2025-27 with Upstate Companies LLC. This is Lauren Corbin, Chairman, Highway Buildings and Grounds Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Can I have a second? Tom? Discussion? Roll call, please.
Henderson,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Kinville, Pinard, Rieger,
Aye.
Ruder,
Aye.
Roberts absent, Schwartz.
Yes.
Stepanski.
Yes.
Stokes is absent, Fosberg,
Yes.
Walrod,
Aye.
Wicks.
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Kavanaugh, Corbin, Cunningham,
Yes.
Davio,
Yes.
During.
Aye.
1,414 votes in favor. Okay. Up next, we have our resolutions and regular agenda. Resolution 26, authorizing extension of the operation agreement and ground lease with Madison County Cortland Chapter NYSARC, Inc. for operation of Madison County's recycling facility. This is Melissa During, Chairwoman, Solid Waste and Recycling Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Can I have a second? Evian? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Now we have Resolution 27, which is authorizing the chairman to accept a grant award from New York State Department of Environmental Conservation to Madison County Department of Solid Waste. This is Melissa During, Chairwoman, Solid Waste and Recycling Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Can I have a second? Rex? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And we do have an additional resolution that needs to be voted on. Before that, we first must waive the rules 24 and 24A by a 2/3 vote. So Resolution 28 is a resolution waiving rules 24 and 24A for the purpose of approving agreement and corresponding documents pertaining to a real estate purchase. This is Pete Walrod, Chairman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution.
You have a second, Joe? Roll call, please.
Jones,
Aye.
Kinville,
Aye.
Pinard,
Aye.
Rieger,
Aye.
Ruder, Roberts absent, Schwartz,
Yes.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Stokes absent, Fosberg,
Yes.
Walrod,
Aye.
Wicks.
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Kavanaugh, Corbin,
Yeah.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Davio,
Yes.
During,
Aye.
Henderson.
Aye.
That is 1,419 votes in favor. Okay. And now Resolution 29, which is authorizing chairman to execute an offer to purchase and corresponding documents for real estate purchase. This is Pete Walrod, Chairman, Government Operations Committee, co-signed by Lauren Corbin, Chairman, Highway Buildings and Grounds Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Can I have a second, Rex? Discussion? Roll call, please.
Kinville, Pinard,
Aye.
Rieger,
Aye.
Ruder,
Aye.
Roberts absent, Schwartz,
Yes.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Stokes absent, Fosberg,
Yes.
Walrod,
Aye.
Wicks,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yeah.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Davio,
Yes.
During,
Aye.
Henderson,
Aye.
Jones. 1,414 votes.
Okay, second public comment period. Anybody here? Trace? No? All right, I do want to say, I want to thank Jenny. This is her last session before Emily comes back, and she's done a wonderful job. Thank you, Jenny. I also want to thank those of you that participated in the Veteran 22K this weekend, and especially want to thank Bob Mascari, our representing the DA's office who kept coaching us to keep going, and he did. So thank you, Bob. Okay, we have a guest speaker today from Cornell Cooperative Extension, Larkin Posidic. Close? Thank you, Larkin. Yes.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Larkin Pasidlik. So you were close. I still don't really know how to pronounce it, and it's been my name for 10 plus years. I'm here to do a presentation that I did with the planning committee a couple of months ago, as well as similar to the presentation that I've been doing with a lot of your town boards. So some of you, I or my staff have been to your town board meetings, and others you are on our docket. Thank you. So this presentation is just to tell you a little bit more about how CCE functions and how CCE is funded. We talk about this a lot with the planning committee, but Evan and I realized it was something that a lot of supervisors didn't know. So I'm going to start at kind of a weird place, which is what isn't CCE? CCE is a really complicated organization, so it's almost easier to start with what we're not rather than what we are. We are not technically part of Cornell University. Cornell doesn't provide funding or legal support or liability insurance. They certainly provide a lot of in-kind support, but they're not technically our parent organization. We're also not a private, independent, nonprofit organization. We are a 501c3, and we're governed in part by not-for-profit corporation law in New York State. And we're also not a county department. So we're none of those things. We are our own unique special thing. So what is CCE is that we are a subordinate governmental agency. We are statutorily created through County Law 224 in New York State law. I have copies of it in the back if anybody really wants to dive deep on it. And it establishes CCE as a subordinate governmental agency of local unincorporated organization of citizens of the county, which means we also don't have articles of incorporation the way a normal nonprofit does. And we operate under administration approved by Cornell. So in addition to being tax exempt, we are a public body just like you are. And CCE for me really represents the best example of a true partnership between federal, state, and county government. And County Law 224 and Cornell Cooperative Extension's founding really was based on the fact that, or the belief that people should be able to learn about things that they deem important, and that people are stronger supporters of organizations when there's investment and ownership at the local level. Anybody who was listening at the planning committee, remember what else County Law 224 says we can do? My favorite provision? Borrow highway equipment. It says that we can borrow highway equipment from, I know, I'd like a street sweeper. If I could get a street sweeper, that would make me feel really good. We have to have, pay you and things like that for it, but we can borrow that statutorily. So another way to look at it is just that at the federal level, USDA NIFA, which is the National Institute for Food and Agriculture, sets the priorities for cooperative extensions across the entire country. At the state and Cornell level, the state authorizes the establishment of the associations in each county or most counties with both direct and indirect state financial support, which I'll show you a little bit later. Cornell sets the standards for association professional staff. So as an example, my local board hires me, and Cornell also gives me the title of executive director and decrees that I meet certain standards. At the county level, the county, you as a board of supervisors are authorized to use tax revenue to provide annual appropriations to us. And we have a board that is made up entirely of local citizens of the county that set local priorities and employ our staff. Briefly, just to look at the history for those of you who are interested, Lincoln signed the Morrill Act in 1862, which established the land-grant university system. There's one in every state. 1865 was when Cornell incorporated. There were a few other laws that created various components of CCE, and we've been operating here in this county since 1917. So this is our mission. CCE Madison puts knowledge to work in pursuit of economic vitality, ecological sustainability, and social well-being, and we bring local experience and research-based solutions to help Madison County families and communities thrive. So we're a pretty complicated agency, and that's a very long mission for any sort of nonprofit, but really what we do is extremely simple. We provide non-formal education and support community projects in any area that any resident in Madison County wants to learn about. It's this idea that anyone can learn anything. These are the 5 statewide mission areas. I'm not going to go in depth on our programs today because that's what we're talking about with your town boards. But these are the areas that we are able to operate under, which is pretty much everything that relates to our mission areas. So wanting to show you a little bit more about our budget and how we are funded. County appropriation makes up about 32% of our slightly over $1 million budget. When I started in 2021, it was 47%, and we've really been working diligently to try to diversify our funding streams so that we're not so reliant on government funding. That huge gray chunk is New York State, and not all of that is direct funding. As I said before, direct and indirect funding. So the beautiful thing about CCE is that our benefits are New York State benefits. And so we actually don't pay anything for them. And by virtue, the county appropriation does not pay for any benefits. All of our benefits are provided in kind through indirect financial support for all of our staff. So our staff are in New York State health insurance, New York State retirement, and all of those wonderful things. We get a small amount of federal funding. The blue section is other grants, so private grants, a grant this year from the Youth Bureau that we're very grateful for, as well as grants that we've received in prior years that we're still operating under. If you want to know how we use the county appropriation, we have about $331,000 of that goes to payroll and benefits for our program staff and our admin staff. Nearly everyone, with the exception of maybe myself, is covered in some way by county appropriation, and we have one fully grant-funded staff member. We have a fair chunk for operating expenses and program costs, and then a small amount for facilities. And by program area, you can see that it's pretty evenly divided, about a quarter to association, which is, the main operations, as well as each of the programs. Ag and ag economic development together make up about 41% of our county budget. So county appropriation is really critical for 3 main reasons. One is that all residents in Madison County, as a result of the appropriation, can access our $1 million educational programs, as well as everything within the Cornell Cooperative Extension system. County Law 224 funding, our state funding, is formula funded based directly on how much the county gives us. And county appropriation really allows us to be nimble. It helps us meet emerging needs like avian flu epidemic. Last year, we had farmers who let us know that we had tomato or potato blight overwintering, tomato or potato, now I can't remember. And we just recently have been doing some outreach with farmers affected by the bovine respiratory disease complex that has been prevalent in Madison County. The return on county investment is also really significant. These are just estimated numbers, but we estimate that when Madison County gives us our county appropriation investment, we are able to turn that around with about a 529% return on investment. And that is through our contracts, our fringe benefits, the revenue generated from our tax counseling for the elderly program, which last year was $1.5 million back in the county. The economic impact of the farmers that we help, which is at least $90,000, that's what we have direct numbers on. And then the value of the regional programs that we participate in. This doesn't include volunteer time, the many unpaid or many free interns we get from Cornell, and a whole lot of other things. CCE is also really efficient and a good steward of funding. We share business functions across this blue region here, IT, some finance, and some HR. Again, our New York State benefits cost nothing locally. We follow about a 25% management and general expense, which is a benchmark for cooperative extensions and other nonprofits. And we have many years of clean audits and really stringent financial management and internal controls standards. So I put this here because I wanted to say that I'm just scratching the surface on all of the cool things about CCE. When I say that it's complicated, I mean it. So we're talking about everything above the iceberg today, but everything down below there are other things that us as CCE employees and county residents have access to that we can share more info about at any point. This is just a look at our current board members. We give Kyle a hard time because it's very heavy on the Casanova right now. And we're grateful for all of that participation. We are looking to diversify our board for being better representative of the county. So if there are folks in your town that you think would make great CCE board members, please send them our way. Wanted to touch briefly on our Ag Economic Development Program. So for a long time, we've separated Ag and Ag Economic Development. And what we have pitched to the Planning Committee this year and are implementing is looking at more of a team approach where all of the ag work that we do is ag economic development. We used to say if it's irrigation or crop production, that wasn't economic development. But truthfully, that is still economic development because it's helping the triple bottom line of farmers, which is good for the farmer's income, the farmer's health, and the land that they're using. This is our structure for our Ag and AED team this year. We have Mary Ellen Sheehan, who's our Ag and AED resource educator, and she supervises our Ag program coordinator and our local foods educator, who I'll mention in a second. We also have this line to our Central New York Regional Ag team, which is a team of 4 master's and PhD level specialists that serve Madison County, really those large scale farms in the county. And then off to the right are our sort of ag adjacent staff that serve more of the consumer focused side of things. We are proposing this year or trying this year to essentially have this team approach, but split it at the farm gate. So Erin is our program coordinator. She handles all of the programs as they come in the door. And Mary Ellen, our ag resource educator, is handling all of our on-farm ag economic development. So beginning farmers, farmland protection, commercial production, vegetables, land use, farm business management. And then our local foods educator is handling the off-farm things. So reaching new markets, open farm day, working on commercial kitchens with KIP and some others, agritourism, and Buy Madison. These are our staff. Our new staff is Katie Livingston. She joins us right after Memorial Day. She grew up on a dairy farm in Herkimer County and is just graduating from Purdue with her degree in ag marketing. So we're really excited to welcome her to the team. And then just wanted to highlight some really recent program highlights. In the last 6 months, we've done about 150 events. Many of those were youth focused. We've had 157 farm technical assistance inquiries over the past 6 months. In March, we reached 1,500 youth through Ag Literacy Week with many volunteers, some of whom are in this room, so thank you. And we just got the numbers on our tax returns. We did 1,556 tax returns this year, bringing in $1.75 million in refunds and savings to the county, which is our highest ever. We had 2,300 volunteer hours donated by other seniors in our community. And then this is just a word cloud of all of the technical assistance inquiries we've gotten for the last 2 years so that you can see the types of things that we are helping farmers with. A lot of questions about grants and support around grants, soil testing, pesticide questions, a lot of questions about land leasing, land rates, that kind of thing. So ultimately, we want to leave you all to just know that for you and for your residents, that CCE is really the go-to place for anything that is essentially farm to table. We can help with anything related to the agriculture industry, as well as ecological sustainability and community vitality. So thank you.
Thank you, Larkin. Any questions for Larkin?
I don't have a question, but I do have just a shout out because I just think Larkin has done a fantastic job bringing the Madison County Cooperative Extension forward, taking on new challenges. Her comments about how she's reduced dependence on county funding, which was, has been she's really worked hard to diversify the funding. She runs a really professional shop and they're really just meeting so many needs. This presentation is kind of overwhelming to me to see all the different places that they have their programs touching and their volunteers. And there was hardly anything about like 4-H, like there is some, but it's complicated. So I just think she deserves another round of applause because she's done a great job.
Thank you. I will share one other update. Is this on still? I have news that I can't share publicly yet, but we are going to be able to do a bigger event with the fair this year. So some of you who are at the fair meeting last night know about it. I can tell you about it privately if you'd like, but we are waiting for press releases from funders to come out. But we will be able to do an Ag Career Day this year at the Madison County Fair that we're very excited about.
Melissa, would you like to update us on the fair meeting?
Yes, thank you. And I actually just wanted to take a moment too to recognize the outstanding work of our county clerk's office and DMV staff. Their teamwork and dedication in managing the surge of transactions related to the new license requirements for air travel, commonly known as Real ID, have been exceptional. We're especially grateful for their patience and commitment to educating residents here in Madison County and beyond, all while continuing to provide the fast and efficient service we can count on. So if you see DMV, make sure you give them a high five. Last night we did have our second meeting. We have an amazing group of rock stars are working with the fair board to come together to support the fair in a more collaborative and county-wide way, bringing in new energy, fresh ideas, and a strong focus on community involvement. This effort isn't just about growing attendance or just boosting revenue. It's about making sure the fair reflects the entire county, our people, our values, our businesses, our youth, and our shared history. Some of our focus is having more county-wide representation. Every town in Madison County deserves a voice and a presence at the fair. We're working to bring in representatives from all communities to ensure the fair feels like a true county event. We also would like to be highlighting local strengths. The fair is a perfect platform to showcase our agricultural, small businesses, youth programs like 4-H and FFA, and the civic pride that makes each of our towns unique. While funding is always important, we're also focused on building partnerships, recruiting volunteers, sharing resources, and creating a more sustainable, engaging experience for everyone. Our group is setting short and long-term goals around logistics, youth involvement, facilities, marketing, and sustainability, ensuring that the fair is not just successful this year, but for many years to come. And I do want to note that and thank Rex and Pete for joining us. And Mary was on Zoom too to join us last night as we toured the fairgrounds. It was a great opportunity to hear the history of the fair, see what's working, and get a clearer vision of where support is needed. Their visit reminded us that the fair's needs go well beyond funding. What's most important right now is the need for people stepping up and getting involved. There are a few ways that you can help. One is helping us identify representatives from your town who might want to join the fair board. The fair board is actively seeking new members from around the county. I ask everyone to encourage local engagement, businesses, civic groups, schools, volunteers, and to please share updates about your fair in your communities. And consider how your town could be represented at the fair through exhibits, activities, or displays. The Madison County Fair is a longstanding tradition with so much potential. With countywide collaboration, we can turn it into a true celebration of all we represent, from our rural roots to our vibrant future. Please feel free to connect with me if you're willing to help. And Pete, Rex, do either of you have anything to add to that?
I was smart because I rode with Pete because I didn't really know my way to Brookfield. There's one way to get in and out of there, and we went over the back roads, lost cell service. It was awesome, but it's just up past the school, so it's not hard to get to. We went through the history building, a museum, I guess, at the fair. That fair was, and I think things go in cycles. That was bigger than a state fair at one time. And it may be, I'm not saying it's in a low point, but things peak and go into valleys. There's a lot of potential down there. And, like I was telling the group, I grew up with going to the county fair. Nowadays, if you can get people from far as way as Sullivan go down there with their kids, they don't see farm animals. They don't experience that. They'll come back. They go down there and it was a big deal to me when I was a kid. They got a ride administrator down there. They're going to do some rides this year. They lost their ride master last year. So it's got a lot of potential. They need volunteers. So anybody that's willing to step up, that wants to even take money at the gate, they'll welcome your help for a day or a few hours. And I see a lot of potential. It's there's some work that needs to be done, but I think that fair is going to be on its upswing. I think we could really make it a somewhat of a crown jewel of the county if we all put our heads together and start working at it. That's just my feelings.
Yeah, I just, I was really struck by the dedication and commitment by the core group. You know, there's only 3 of them there last night off the fair board. I think has 15 openings. But the time they put in, the knowledge they have there, the one lady said that, and I knew her dad, he had some really good cattle. But yeah, I grew up showing cattle. That's why I'm here. I just don't want to see that loss. And I mean, this is a lifetime of dedication, and I really hate to see it, you know, squandered, really. I mean, they put a lot of time into this. And so, yeah, I mean, I'll probably be talking to each of you individually, but if we, like Rex alluded to, we ask them, what's one priority? What do you need? And they didn't say money. They said, we need some volunteers. We need people to help us, so I mean, that's what they said. As simple as if you can sit at the ticket booth, so gosh, I think that we all, it could try to pull together. And yeah, if we can get, folks coming from Sullivan or Lennox, that's an outing. It's a beautiful ride over through there to Brookfield. I know we laugh about it a lot, but it's just a really, it's country could be, and it's rural, and it's a beautiful spot. And, it really does. They've worked hard and got some grants and got some newer buildings. And, I talked to Evan this morning. Evan, just that short time talking back and forth, she had a couple great ideas. I'm sure she'll share with you, Melissa, but those people are really dedicated. I really like to get behind it and support them. And I thank Melissa and Mary for, digging in on this. And you ladies, really, I think it's invigorated them as well. And they are welcoming this response. I asked them point blank, I said, are you happy that we're here? Are you, are we invading? You said, absolutely not. Says, when did the supervisors ever, when has the board ever been this interested in us? And so I think it's a partnership, and I'm really happy to hear that and to see that. So whatever we can do. And I know that Dave Jones and I'll be taking tickets this July. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, I can't stress enough how dedicated this core group or really, really, you want to get behind it. Do you want to talk about the dates, Melissa? Because the dates have changed due to the vendor that they got for the rides, which actually might be better because it's outside of July 4th. I encourage the supervisors, get down there at least for the ribbon cutting. There's a ribbon cutting every year, right? Lauren, that was the first time last year I'd ever been to the fair. Maybe more information on that. If that's the least you can do, if you could show up and maybe get a tour, that would be great. But they do need volunteers. To be on the board, they ask you to volunteer for a year before you have a spot. So my goal is to get as many businesses around the county involved, so it reflects the entire county, right? So reaching out to our local businesses to see if they want to maybe get a little booth or, donate or maybe put up a sign or advertise or something like that. I think this is the beginning of a really good thing. And then maybe bring the parade back that has been canceled since COVID. Maybe get that parade back going. Everybody loves a parade, right? The Derider Field Days is a hugely popular parade. Maybe we can get it back to that glory. So, but I do want to thank Melissa for setting that meeting up, and Rex and Pete, you were the best to have down there to be able to take the tour and look at the buildings and, look at the hardships that they've, had. So I appreciate you being there as well.
That's kind of
Chewing tobacco in Brookfield's still legal. So if you chew tobacco, that's the place to go down there.
Thanks for that, Rex.
And I do want to let everyone know it is July 23rd to the 27th. That is the same weekend that Open Farm Day will be going on. So you can always try to attend both. And that this year on July 23rd, they are having Daryl Worley. He has a podcast and he is a singer, celebrated country artist and songwriter known for his rich voice and heartfelt lyrics. He rose to fame in the early 2000s with his hits like I Miss My Friend, Have You Forgotten, and Awful Beautiful Life, all reaching #1. And Have You Forgotten top charts for 7 weeks. So they'll have tickets available. And I think they're going to try to do some pre-sale for this event and for the fair itself.
And Pete, if I gotta collect tickets, they need exact change because I went to Casnovia to school.
I'm not sure that's people that. Okay, thank you, everyone. Greg, another shameless plug for Belkville, June 6 through 8 and August 10 through 16, right? Okay. So we've been here for the last 20 years and we are about to leave in August. We're going to have our first meeting out of the county in 20 years at our new Delphi Falls event, center. So thank you. Okay, any other business to come before the board?
I have one more.
Okay.
All of you have on your desk a golf fundraiser for Office for the Aging. Consider putting a team together, and if you can't, I have tickets for a ball drop, and there is information on that as well. And all of the proceeds will benefit programs and services for the older adults in Madison County. So consider that. Thank you.
Mary.
Yep.
Anyone else? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn? Joe? Melissa?